What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with El Mocoso.
Gersh one!
That means the one with boogers, I think. Yeah.
Yep, the Booger King.
Not Burger King. And welcome to another For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first.
And if you guys want to help support the channel, you can do so by doing these super things. It's basically a way to directly give us monetary support, and it is a guaranteed answer that will get to you. And that is exactly what Harry Mullica has done. Thank you, Harry. His question is, thank you for your years of informative lore videos and general coolness. My question is, what is the true purpose of the 3 wall switches over the Sound Alchemist's left shoulder? Lights, servitor summoning, snack delivery, spill the tea.
So the first one, the one that's always on, that one's connected to the throne room. Mm-hmm. That's basically what's powering the golden throne.
Yep.
The other two, the middle one is the one that fixes the golden throne and revives the emperor. That one's never going to be switched. And then the last one is for bad bitches.
Yeah. In that order. Mm-hmm. So what happens if we turn them all on and off, like in SpongeBob with the hash-slinging slasher?
The emperor explodes, and then he becomes part of the cosmos, which then interprets into the warp, and then the god of order is born, or truth. God of... Because it wouldn't be the chaos god of order. That wouldn't make sense. So it'd be the chaos god of the light, maybe, which is why the light switches are there.
Mm-hmm.
See? Big brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question, though.
Yeah.
I think... yeah.
See? Super Thanks has gotten you that answer. And thank you for that.
So let's move on to another really good question by...
I got one by Coyote P. Would the squats from the Necromunda or other Imperial planets be welcomed in by the different leagues of Votan? Or would the squats be disavowed because they are not clones? So basically, the lore of the leagues of Votan is that they're basically a conglomeration of space that have all joined together. So it could be a world, it could be a mining facility, it could be a bunch of worlds together. Basically, there is a council of like high kin, because they don't like being called squats, and they basically choose who's in, who's out, what's going on, and that kind of thing.
Their sign is like the kin.
Yeah. So as long as they know that sign, or as long as they agree to the council and stuff like that, there's got to be some type of leeway, like, hey, we'll give you some resources, or you could use us as like a military force or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, anybody can join in. The Demiurge have been confirmed that they are kin, and they work alongside the Tau. So yeah.
And for all those that don't know, the Demiurge are basically just like stone men.
Mm-hmm.
Think of, what's the thing from Game of Thrones when they get the rot? No, not the rot.
Yeah, it's like
grayscale.
Grayscale, yeah.
Yeah, they're like that.
Yeah.
But not really, because they're born like that. Good question.
Yeah.
We answered it, right?
I believe so, yes.
The next question comes from Isaac Hahn. Have you guys considered creating a short series of videos on facts for the Greater WAAAGH, where you basically answer all the common questions people keep asking and re-asking, such as, what if the crew eats the Emperor? What if Horus never fell to chaos? What if the Sound Alchemist gets better clothes? Etc., etc., etc.
Better clothes? That is true. I haven't gotten clothes in a while.
I think they just mean new clothes.
That's true.
That's why you got to go with the standard black shirt.
I got a black shirt.
Just take the top one off and you'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Enseña esas chichis.
Ay, güey, me pican.
So we do. Mm-hmm. So if you Google, or if you go on YouTube and look up like that, we have standalone videos for them, and people still don't.
I keep asking questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's crazy is like, I guarantee you that like we'll answer a question left by someone last week today, and then next week they'll ask the same question. That's just the nature of things. What I have been thinking is that it would be cool to do these short answers and try to compress them into a minute-long answer.
And do shorts. YouTube shorts, yeah. So beware for why haven't the Kroot eaten the Emperor? Shorts incoming.
Yes. Good question though. And thanks. I really like when you guys ask questions about like the channel and like to see how different ways we can do things. You know. Next question.
This one's by Twist Jane. How old are characters like Abaddon and Bile? Are they 10,000 years old or maybe younger? We know that time in the warp works different than in real space. So is it due to Chaos's help that they have lived so long?
Duh!
Yeah, the warp is a very fickle, strange, weird thing that makes no sense to our real space brains. So yeah, Abaddon clearly was around and kicking during the Horus Heresy and before that, and clearly that was over 10,000 years ago. So yeah, you would think somebody like that is 10,000 years plus. But again, the whole warp shenanigans and him being empowered by chaos, he's got that youthful glow. I'm pretty sure he's signed with like Fenty or something like that. So he be looking on fleek.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe. We won't never know.
Won't ever.
Won't ever.
Isn't that a double negative? Which means we will.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing that like I've come to, or something new that has happened, because we've been doing like 40K lore for a really long time, but something new is that concept of like, is he really 10,000 years old, or is it like that the time has like manipulated his thing or his life thing? I like the idea of him being 10,000 years old. Like, it's not just an example of, sure, like there's time delays and or time anomalies within the warp and stuff like that, but I think there's something really badass about showing how a Chaos Space Marine got a huge perk for turning to Chaos. It wasn't just like, let's betray the Emperor because Horus is whatever. No, like they get like mad buffs, which is like 10,000 years of life.
Right.
Imagine that. But yeah.
Yeah. Space Marines can sometimes attain something close to it. Dante, for example.
But he's not even 10,000.
Right.
Yeah.
But he has lived pretty long. But he doesn't have any of the boons.
He doesn't. No tentacles or shit. I don't even think he has a penis.
No, not anymore. It just falls off if you don't use it or lose it. Right.
At that point, should you even live if you don't have a penis?
I mean, Space Marines do.
Barely.
This next question is by The Big One. When I was a kid, I would put hot sauce inside donuts and feed them to the homeless dudes, and then I'd watch them jump around from the heat. What fun childhood memories like that do you guys have?
I used to put, no, this is my dad. My dad used to put, what are they called? The firecrackers or like bottle rockets or something? Basically fireworks. Tape them onto pigeons and then light it on.
What the heck? I didn't know that.
So like it would fly away and explode.
Wow, that's, I'm gonna go cry now.
You guys want to hear a really gross story? So in the city of Mexico that I'm from, there was a street that the birds would nest on the, what are they called? The electrical wires. And obviously the people didn't want that because it was like a street with a lot of markets or a lot of stores. So it was like a market.
So they want like poop raining down?
Right. So what they did is they put super glue.
What?
On the wire. So when the birds came to rest, because that's what, they slept or whatever, they got stuck.
Wouldn't that make things worse? Because then they're like flailing around to get off?
They die.
But then it's just a bunch of weight, and now you got to go up there and get them off.
Yeah, then the city had to come. I think somebody got in trouble, because obviously that's terrible. Yeah. But yeah, like a bunch of dead birds are just like glued onto the wire.
Golly.
Sorry to turn this into some...
Yeah, life in the hive is not a good one.
Exactly, yeah. It's like some hive thing that would happen, yeah.
Yeah. My craziness thing in the younger years, I had a cousin who used to like going to like fields and getting baby bunnies. And since he didn't have anywhere to put them, he would put them in his pocket, and then he would ride his bike and show them off to us. Bunnies are not meant to be in pockets, I'll tell you that much. Especially when you fall off your bike on the way to show the bunnies off.
It was very traumatizing to see him pull the bunnies out of his pocket, and the bunnies were full of like, their nose were bleeding and stuff like that. Yeah, damn. We had like weird childhoods.
Yeah. Did you want those type of memories?
Yeah, it's comparable to what he said. I mean, putting hot sauce in donuts. Even though ours deal with death.
Yeah.
Of small creatures.
Yeah.
Thank God we're not serial killers.
Life in the Hive is not very good. Did you
Well-
guys watch the Dahmer? That's what I was thinking too.
I was thinking of the Stockton guy,
Yeah, that too.
the murderer. They caught him.
Oh yeah.
He's caught.
Condor, DCS, as we've gone way off the rails. How do orcs get their names? Do they give it to themselves?
They can, yeah. Most of the time, it's because they've done something like throat splitter or knee
Glizzy
biter.
Gobbler.
Glizzy Gobbler. I want to do that. Let's go back to creating a campaign. I want to do War Boss Glizzy Gobbler. What does he do? He globbers glizzies. Oh my god, I can't even say
He
it.
gobbles glizzies.
There you go. But yeah, it's a combination of both, but it's usually because they've done an action, and that action gives them, a name like Gatsko Magor Thraka. Pretty obvious what he did.
Mm-hmm.
He thrackled.
He thrackles.
Oh, that's the golden throne.
Damn. Flip the switch. Flip the switch.
And those are the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening. And don't forget, if you guys want to support the channel, hit us up with a super thanks.
Mm-hmm. And as always, it's been the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we'll be back next week or tomorrow, depending on when this goes up.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.